The fourth pain of imprisonment is the deprivation of autonomy. And autonomy just refers to the ability to make choices. So when we talk about the deprivation of autonomy, we're referring to the inmate's inability to exercise decision making power. And similar to the deprivation of liberty, this one is fairly obvious on the surface, but it does require some analysis. Of course, prisoners don't get to exercise choice. They're in prison. They're subject to a vast array of rules and regulations. And those rules and regulations limit their freedom while they're incarcerated. But we are also subject to a vast array of laws and regulations. We have our choices limited based on those rules and regulations. And some people have even argued that the opposite is true, that in fact inmates are saved in their incarceration from having to make constant decisions, and that there's a kind of freedom in not having to worry about making the daily mundane decisions that make up the human experience in the free world. Despite this argument, we still need to analyze the deprivation of autonomy. The most important part of this deprivation, the part that makes it so painful, is it is a total deprivation. It's less endurable because there's no end to the deprivation. You don't get some autonomy. You don't get your autonomy back after a week. This is not the same thing as allowing a spouse to make all the decisions on vacation and you just relax and enjoy it. This is a day in, day out deprivation. It is complete, and that's what makes it so rough. Additionally, there's a feature in prison life, the incomprehensible rule, that from the prisoner's point of view doesn't make any sense or is a rule for no reason. It's not related to any objective penological interest. These incomprehensible rules or staff commands will come without justification. So the inmate not only doesn't have decision making power, he's forced to follow rules without understanding why he has to follow those rules, um, or without the benefit of an explanation. Think back to a time when you've had an authority figure tell you, "Because I said so." That "because I said so" is kind of the inmate's daily life in this conversation. So if you can think back to a time when you've been told to do something without that justification or without that explanation, then you can imagine living under that type of structure all day, every day.